Hey guys, this is Dan,
This is Arsham.
and this is Get to Give.
And Dan shaved his head.
I did. And today's theme is leverage.
That's right. Leverage.
Stay tuned.
It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
And we're back.
Yeah, we are.
You look a lot different.
It's breezy out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all cool.
Yeah, I get to think more and heat less.
The brain can
Expand.
the brain spends more energy on the brain than the hair.
I know. And because of that, today's theme has to be leverage. Has to be the opportunity.
Yeah. So basically, what is leverage? Leverage is basically using what you have in order to get on the next level. Like on the next level, like the stairs or a ladder or the staircase, whatever you call it. And it is to just jump up from the situation you were in. And there's many things that are associated with leverage, and that's preparing and planning and knowing exactly what to do, which also, like, a lot of opportunities can leverage your your company, your product, or even your life. So what are some things that you think are can leverage, or how do you know when you can leverage
Well,
your life or your product?
Well, I have to say that any situation, there has to be some leverage. Now, it depends on you, how you use that leverage. For example, let's say you're given a restricted time to do this sort of business, and you don't have enough time. Well, is there an opportunity for you to subcontract this business, or for you to expand this business, or for you to hire help? That is where leverage comes in.
Mm-hmm.
It all depends on the right timing, the right materials, the right people, and always knowing ahead what you're getting yourself into.
Mm-hmm. So basically, it's like not throwing away the opportunity just because you're not ready for it. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the first step of leverage.
So yeah, basically, it's like something comes along, and sometimes really good opportunities come along, and you're just not ready for it. You don't have the experience, you don't have the knowledge, or you're just in a situation that you can't, and you can use that leverage in order to profit from it, or that opportunity to profit from it, even though you're not the one completing that particular task. Like, for example, like a contractor who's building houses. Now some guy comes and say, okay, I got this loan from the bank to build this house. Can you build this house? Well, what you can do is say, yeah, I can build this house, and hire subcontractors and have another contractor build that house, take some profit from that investment, and then just give the project to a different contractor. This is just an example, but in my opinion, having a leverage is, sometimes you don't always have to have leverage. That by that I mean, it's like you work and you create opportunity and you go after what what your goal is, but sometimes you have to maintain what you have. Do you know what I mean? Maintain what you where you are. So let's say it's like you're always pushing to be better, be stronger, always trying to move up.
Yeah.
But I believe sometimes you have to, like, instead of moving up, you have to be where you are, and not going down, but where you are, to have more experience, to exactly know what's around you, and be an expert in that field. That to me, like, having being in the same it's like becoming an expert in something. You're learning about that specific thing more and more, but you're not learning about the next thing.
I do. I know what you're trying to say. And another thing that comes into mind is, think about leverage as not just always getting the upper hand, but always eliminating work because you can, what you just said, that example, you just clearly eliminated the work for you.
Exactly.
You've became a middleman.
Yeah.
Now, that's not always the situation, and there's always sometimes work, but making a few, making as much as you can out of the smallest opportunity is something. Making, let's say, $1,000 on a $10,000 deal means like you may not have made that 9,000, but you've already gained 1,000 without lifting a finger.
Yeah. To make it a little bit more simple, it's like having a garage sale, you know? Yeah, maybe you don't need the money. You also don't need the stuff. And by having a garage sale or having a yard sale or whatever, you kind of put leverage on that month's income.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
So that's what it really means. It means, yeah, like sometimes you are in a comfortable situation, but there are things you can do in your life to be able to just temporary or even sometimes permanent to have be in a better situation.
Yeah. And also trying to anticipate a situation and trying to visualize it and write it down and see where you get at is also very helpful.
Yeah.
With that, we have a few exercises in our videos.
Yeah. So check out our previous videos, and there's a lot of good helpful tips maybe you can learn from. And I believe that sometimes leverage is also can be experience. It can be knowledge as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Like leverage doesn't mean you have to profit from it like financially. Leverage can also be mentally or emotionally, for you to be able to read, first, for example, a book a week. I'm not saying book a day, because we can't all do that, but a book a week or a book a month, and in order to improve your mindset, improve your knowledge, that's putting leverage in what your situation is. So it's not profiting you financially yet, maybe, but it can profit you in, let's say, when a conversation comes up in a particular subject, and now you have something to say. It makes the other person feel better about you, makes you feel more educated, and you never know what kind of opportunities come along that. And I believe knowledge and always learning new things is a great way to put leverage in your entire life, financially or like emotionally, because it makes you a better you.
Yeah, and the same thing, you can approach this idea with the idea of leverage. You can also approach your own education, because it's not about getting money, it's about getting the knowledge to get to money faster.
Exactly.
Learning a course is hard. Like, I have problems in a few of my courses. Sometimes I struggle, sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. Well, what I do is I learn every day a little bit of it. I try and progress a little bit. I try to use all the stuff that I have known and that I have learned to get somewhere where it's something achievable. Like, I don't have to have that perfect A. Exactly. I dream about it. That's my goal. But knowing that I could do a B is so much comforting.
Yeah, and if it's like that. It's like if you don't learn something, even when you try, well, now you just learned that you don't know this particular subject. So it's basically like your weaknesses and your strengths.
Yeah.
Once you start developing your education, and it doesn't have to be formal education as in books. It can also be experience, and it can also be things that you learn from other people. Which are still very, very valuable. But in order for you to be able to get on the next step in your life, you have to be able to have some leverage in your life in order for it to push you up. And by this stair, like the step, I mean as in your goal, in order to reach your, for example, like monthly goal. Let's say you want to buy a new phone, but you don't want to really. You don't have the money for it.
Yeah, you can't dish out $800.
Yeah, exactly. You can, sell a few things in order to, sell them online or anywhere in order to be able to afford that particular phone. And then that's basically putting leverage on that particular month's goal.
Yeah.
You know, so it's basically you achieved your goal without suffering for it, and that's what the meaning of leverage is not, you know, being like going down. It's not going backwards. It's not like putting something that will jeopardize whatever you already have in order to get to what you want. Is what you have, how can you do it better without going backwards or coming down?
And yeah, and with that, just because it's even like the smaller final detail of leverage. Let's say you try and sell your stuff. Knowing where to sell your stuff for the most money is leverage. And that's not monetary leverage at that point. That's knowledge. That's knowledge that later on will transform into more money towards going towards that phone.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's one of the small details. That's where you can refine, and we usually perfect ourselves. It's in the smaller, finer details. That's where we see like, oh, I can get this over here, and if I get like this mug, I sell for, let's say, 20, but I can sell somewhere else for 25. Now I've made profit,
Exactly.
and I've set myself a new goal. And you put yourself in that mentality.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't mean like it's not like something you can get rich overnight. And you said how, you know, knowing things can put leverage, like knowing like where to sell can, you know, put leverage in your life. Well, also networking with people, also getting to know people, going out there, finding people who you know, who are passionate about their own things, and finding new friends, and, you know, just going to meetings and just meeting people can also put leverage, because you never know what kind of skills that person have. Like, for example, like Dan here has good amount of skills in computer programming, and you're continuing to learn. And, you know, like I know if I like want to do something that has to do with like computer programming, well, I have connections too, you know. And, you know, with anyone, the more you know people, the more connections you have. And trust me, like when I say this, you can't become successful by yourself, because it takes a lot of work. And the more the more friends you have that have the skills, the easier it's gonna get to easier for you to get to your goal.
Yeah, and well, you're saying it's hard. It's nearly impossible. It is possible, and if you want to take that way, you have to be aware of the higher risks, of the higher probabilities that things may not work your way. And what leverage does for you is take those those risks, makes them a lot smaller, makes them insignificant.
Yeah.
It makes their smaller steps. That's okay.
Yeah.
Takes more time. That's okay. But at the same time, you don't risk everything. You don't have to have everything on the table. This is not like poker where you're going all in just to win the big prize. This is like methodical timing where you add like drop to drop in order to make that glass full.
That's true. And also, like the billionaire Warren Buffett says, the more you learn, the more you earn.
Yes.
You know, so
That's
it's
correct.
Yeah, there is like a lot of controversies about that, but if you really think about it, the more knowledge you have in any field, the more you know how to make money. Because nowadays you can make money out of dirt. Like you can make, I don't know how, you can make a sculpture. Okay, but you can make money. Yeah, you can sell grass. Okay, if you have a big enough field, then you can sell the grass, or so you can sell I don't know what are they called?
Sod rolls.
No, it's like the tall grass, and then the cows and
Wheat.
No, not wheat. The thing, like the food for cows and horses.
Just grass.
Okay, well, just grass. We'll just call it grass. Because there's a technical term to it. But yeah, like you can make money off of anything, and you know, a lot of people say, yeah, do what you love, but I believe, and I'm not gonna get too involved with this because this is a big topic, but I believe, love what you do.
Yeah.
Because if you do what you love, you might not get to your goal. Because if you know, maybe you love making mugs, well, you can make money of making mugs, but you're not going to become a billionaire. Well, I'm just saying, like, you might there's a very little chance you're gonna become a billionaire by making mugs. But that being said, if you love selling mugs and and getting mugs and selling to other people, then there's a high chance. So it's love what you do. So love your work. And a lot of people say it's that they say, oh, they hate their job and stuff like that. But in order for you to put leverage on your life, you have to be willing to put energy and effort and go out of your way in order to learn more, in order to be able to push yourself to be able to take your existing situation and put leverage on it. So if you don't absolutely love what you're doing, you're gonna run out of motivation and energy. So find a way to love what you do, and we're gonna talk about those subjects. I'm getting way over
Ahead,
topic,
yeah.
but we're gonna talk about those subjects in other videos. But just think about that. Think about finding a way to love absolutely, like every morning wake up and be happy with what you're doing, and then see if that changes anything. So till then, I think this video is long enough, and we will come back. Well, I don't know if and every Sunday, because we used to film every Sunday.
Yes.
But now it's like there's a lot going on in my life and in Dan's, and we can't film every Sunday. But we're gonna try to film as often as we can. So
with that being said, thank you very much, guys, and we appreciate you watching our videos and being with us every step of the way. I hope we are helping you as much as you are helping us, because this goes both ways, and we thank you for that.
Yeah.
So
and if anyone needs help, because we knew a lot of people are going through tough times, we can be there for them. If you have any questions or anything you want to say, leave it down below in the comment section. And with that being said, we'll see you another time, and don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Thanks. See ya.